Okay, did everyone take a picture of the second page? Okay, so again, we just had a student come in, so I'll go ahead and go back to that first slide in case you need to take a picture of it. It's Ariane. Hi, Ariane. Happy Monday. Okay, so we're taking a picture of this, Ariane, and then this second one here.
All right.
All right. So yeah, awesome. Great, great, great. Okay, you ready to go into rooms? So you're going to discuss the reading. So you'll have in front of your screen, you should have the reading out and also these questions if you can, right? You took the screenshot. So if you need to review it, you can, the best way to do this is try to find the answers in the paragraphs, right? So you don't need to read the whole thing and then go back and answer the questions. There's no time for that. But what you can do is look at the question. So the first one says, what is the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers role, right? So if you can figure out which paragraph it's in, then you can take turns reading the paragraph, find the answer, go to the next question. The next question, who are the Standing Rock Sioux, the Sioux, right? So again, any questions before you go in the groups? Okay, finally, before I let you go, I will, for your out of class work today, I will give you a reading quiz on this. All right, so make sure that you do find the answers to questions and you ask any questions you have about vocabulary during our class today. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. The conversation was very interesting. And I saw you were learning a lot. So you were doing a great job asking questions and having these nice discussions here. So allow me to just, while we look at the answers here, it's nice if you can have your reading open as well. So you can look back and reference some of the answers. So the first question here is, oops, let's go here. Number one, well, first of all, what does Dakota Access Pipeline mean? What is a pipeline? Can someone explain what it is?
Transfer oil.
Yeah, it's a pipeline is like, you know what a pipe is, right? Like
Yeah.
you use pipes in your in a home where you live to transfer water into your sink, right? So you can have running water. You use usually, I think it's like sometimes copper pipes or sometimes it's like some kind of plastic, right? Yes, that's right. So then we have much larger pipes that we use to transfer oil. Excellent. So this specific pipeline has a name, Dakota Access Pipeline. So the first question there is, what is the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers role? And I just wanted to, let's look at the pronunciation of the word here, Corps. No, we don't say the P and the S. It must be a French derived word, because if any of you in the class know French, often at the end, even the word Sioux is like a French word, right? So in French, a lot of those last letters, you don't pronounce it. All right, so we say U.S. Army Corps of Engineer. Corps means body in Latin, right? What is that? Who found the answer? I mean, what did your group say? It doesn't mean if you found the answer or not, that doesn't matter. What did your group say was the Army Corps of Engineers role? What does role mean?
I can answer that.
Okay, Ariane, that would be great.
We were saying that the U.S. Army Corps it's part of the government, and its mission is to, do projects for the people and military, and also to protect the water. And we found that where was it? Yeah, the third, right there.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Yeah. So it is a part of the government, obviously, because our U.S. Army and U.S., right? But notice how part of its mission goals, you know what a mission is something a company has, and their day-to-day goals, right? That's what that is. So notice that part of its mission is to lower the risks of disasters. That's part of their mission, right? Including protecting water. That's part of their mission. So so that's interesting, isn't it? Excellent. So now, how is this connected to the oil and the pipeline? Well, we'll find out more in a minute. First, who are the Standing Rock Sioux? Who are the Standing Rock Sioux?
Veterans.
The tribe. The tribe.
Exactly. Good job. The Standing Rock Sioux is a tribe, right? So you can see the answer for that one right here at the very beginning. The Standing Rock Sioux tribe. It's a tribe. What's a tribe?
A group of
people.
indigenous.
It's a group of people. Okay. Somebody want to add to that?
How do you spell indigenous?
Indigenous. Yes. Indigenous. What is indigenous?
Don't know.
Native person of that country.
Exactly. Yes. Indigenous are the native people of a land, right? That's indigenous. Well, actually, indigenous is a adjective, right? It's an adjective used to describe those people, but you can also, use the word native. Native, or the original group of people. Native is, of course, a noun. Very good. Yeah. So, so back to tribe. Tribe is a group of people that are maybe often related by blood, or beliefs, or they were, born in an area, in a land close to each other. And they have like they use the same languages to communicate and have the same customs and all of that. So remember during the first week of class, that very difficult reading, and we're talking about, how real estate started, and there used to be tribes. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. That's what it is. So yeah, so we still have some tribes in the US, some natives of the US lands, right? We have some. And there's another article, some of you maybe already read it, but it's the next article we're going to read about some history about that, right? So anyway, the name of this tribe is the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. Any questions on number 1 or number 2?
No.
No, not so far.
The word standing is a noun or?
And the way the Standing Rock Sioux is being used there as an adjective, but by itself, yeah, it's actually, there's adjectives that are ing, right? Interesting. Yeah, I think in that example, it's being used as an adjective to describe the people, the Sioux.
It's just the name, right?
It's just a name. It's just a name, yeah. All right. So number 3, what is tribal land? So we said a tribe is a group of people. What is tribal land?
The land belong to the tribe.
Yes, that's
the tribe
right.
live on there.
Yeah, the tribe lives on there. Okay. Anyone else want to add? I saw, sorry? Okay. I saw, oh, Jessica, did you have something to say?
No, the same thing.
The same? Okay. I saw a group Google it. So Google is really good nowadays. They're really good at helping you find answers. But so if we look up tribal land, I like the answers are so good. Right here, look what it shows up.
They live there many decades, many years.
They've been living there for many, 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 many centuries, right?
Yeah.
Hundreds of years. But look what's so interesting when we look up tribal land, the word Indian reservation appears, right? So nowadays, tribal land is commonly known as Indian reservation. You're in real estate class, so you're learning about different types of lands names and real estate and people who occupy the land, right? So he said owning land is a type of real estate, right? So it is real estate. So yeah, Indian reservation on these lands, you cannot go there. If your friend belongs to this tribe and they invite you on their land, then you can go. Otherwise, nobody can just go there. It's private land, private property. And again, I'm not going to focus too much on this now because in the next article, we'll focus a bit more on it. So we do have an article about some history. So we'll go back here. Okay, is this a different one? This one here. Okay, so then number 4, what's an easement? Now, remember, we've been talking about this word so many times in our class, right? And we're not done. We're going to keep talking about it many times. What is an easement? Who remembers? Okay, is this more clear of a question? What is an easement and how is it connected to the Dakota Access Pipeline? Is that a little bit more clear of a question?
Yes, clear.
Okay, thank you, thank you. All right, what is an easement, if we can
Easement
recall?
is you use if you have a right to enter the property.
Excellent, good job. Who said that?
Emily,
Emily, very good. Thank you so much. Yeah, you remember we talked about that? It gives
Yes.
somebody the right to enter your property, but it's for a reason, right? So like we talked about, electricians or utility companies can enter your property
Mhm.
if they need to, but to fix something, work on something. But also if you have a larger land and you have other property on there, such as a train track, or in this case, how is it connected to the Dakota Access Pipeline?
To build the pipeline, they must use the land.
There you go. Good job. To build this pipeline, this private company needs to use someone else's land. And there you go. That's an easement, right? They're trying to create this easement here on someone else's land. Okay, so what were the protesters protesting about? Because there was protesters there, right? So if I go back and show the picture, I believe they are in that picture there. Right, so yeah, look at this picture here. So there are many people there. There were many people there protesting. What were they protesting about?
They protect their rights, their environment, their water.
That's their concern. That's where the connection is, right? In all of this, they're concerned about the water supply being contaminated. That's their main concern here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job. So where did the protest take place?
So in Dakota.
In Dakota?
North Dakota. In the beginning of the first paragraph.
Oh, okay, yeah, the first paragraph tells you. That's right. You can see right here, Cannonball, North Dakota. ND stands for North Dakota.
The second paragraph.
Oh, and the second paragraph.
Yeah, yeah.
You mean this one here?
1, 2, 3. The third line, fourth line.
The fourth line.
Yeah. That's occupy in the southern North Dakota.
There we go. Southern North Dakota. Okay, there you go. Very good. Yeah, so it's in southern North Dakota, but also, as you saw, if you read the description of the picture here, you can also see that it's in Cannonball, North Dakota. But also when you read an article, often it tells you the location like right at the beginning. So where you were explaining, yeah, Cannonball, North Dakota. So ND does mean North Dakota. Yeah.
Oh, the Cannonball is a city, right?
It's a city, correct.
Oh, okay.
That's right, that's right. Yeah, right. And so, yeah, and also the name of the pipeline, right?
Oh,
Okay, very good. Okay, the next question is, who was unhappy about the denial of the Dakota Access Pipeline crossing rights and why. See, where is that one? Did you do you remember where that answer is? In which section? Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm gonna have one of you read it. That's all right. Daniel, would you mind reading the paragraph? If you're available. Okay, maybe he is not available, so let me ask another student. How about, let's see here. How about Bay? Would you mind reading the paragraph?
Yeah.
Okay.
NOSDAQ's leader didn't like the decision to not give crossing rights government Jack Darrell map, called it a mistake that extends the danger of having several hundred protectors camping on national land in the cold winter. Kevin Kramer, a lawmaker, said it's bad sign for the future of infrastructure in the United States. Infrastructure
Good job. Yeah, good job. You got it.
include roads, building, and other constructions needed by society.
Excellent, excellent. Yes, society. Yeah, so the leaders are talking about are not the tribal leaders. They're talking about the other leaders, the leaders in government in the state, the US government leaders. So they weren't happy because they said, oh, this is bad for business, right? It's bad for infrastructure. Infrastructure, again, is roads, buildings, and other construction that society uses and needs, right? So any questions so far? No, you're good? Okay, let me go to the next slide then. The next slide, the question here is, actually, you know what? I'm gonna share the screen because I think we're done with the reading for now. So do you remember hearing about this on the news about 4 or 5 years ago? I guess now 5 years ago.
No.
Facebook.
On
Facebook.
okay, so you saw it on Facebook? Interesting, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it was a big deal on the news. And so that's fine. And then the next one, who is building the pipeline and what do they claim? Okay, I guess we are going to look at the article one more time. Who's building that pipeline?
Government.
Is it the government?
The government?
Is that right?
Yeah.
I believe it's a private company, actually, unless I'm mistaken.
Yes.
Am I mistaken on that?
Oh, yeah, it's a company.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kathy, would you mind
Okay.
reading the paragraph?
Okay, Energy Transfer Partners is the company building the pipeline. The company gave a statement Sunday night disagreeing with the decision. The statement claimed that President Barack Obama wanted to delay the matter until he leaves office.
Okay, good job. So yeah, so they obviously the company that wants to build it, they're for profit, so they want to do it to make money. So obviously they're not going to be happy with the decision to, that it's going to be dangerous for the, for the tribal, for the tribe by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. So yeah, that makes sense, right? That makes sense. All right. So now let's go back to the questions. It says, can you explain both sides of the argument? So obviously there's two opinions, right? There's like the protesters that say this is dangerous for the community here, right? So So actually, if you look at where the Dakota Access Pipeline, if you look at the map, do they have a map here? I think they do, right? Or does it not have a map? Oh, no,
No.
this doesn't have a map. Oh, okay. I thought it did, but look, I can show you the map so you can get a better idea, right? Okay, let's take a look at the map. It's actually a really large, a very large project. Very, very large. It's unbelievable how large it is. So, yeah, right. Look how that's very long.
Yeah.
You know, the longer it is, probably the higher the chance there could be a spill because it's just so big and long. Anyway, so this is it. So it starts here. Here's North Dakota. The protest site is there. You see where the square is?
Mhm.
That's, yeah, that's so large. But I know when you get closer, you could see, I think you could see their water source. Let me see, is this one a good one? Yeah, so here we go. This is a good one. Let me make it a little bigger for you. Oh, there we go. So you see, this is where it's going to go through the some water right here. Do you see that? This is a Standing Rock reservation, which you just learned that means tribal lands. So this is where they live, right? And as you can see, their land is bordering the lake here, right? So for them, that's their primary source of water. So they are concerned, okay, fine. If there's a leak here, it's going to run all the way into their primary source of water. Interesting. Yes? I think I'm going to save that website or that picture. It's a
Yeah.
really good one. Yeah. So anyway, so both sides of the argument, right? So people who are against it, obviously the tribe and then the protesters. And then there's people who are for it, such as the government leaders and like the company itself, right? So now, are you able to see both sides of the argument? Why both, you know, why both feel the way they feel? Can you see that?
think the
Can you explain it?
Paragraph starting.
13? Okay, let's
go.
take a look. All right, thank you, Andy. Let me go ahead and share the screen then again. Let's see here. Okay, so paragraph 13, huh?
Paragraph starting with lawmakers call the decision a mistake.
Oh yeah, right. That's gonna be the right. Yeah, the again, the lawmakers is a government.
This
Well,
is
the lawmakers is not the government. Sorry, is it? Oh no, it is a government. Ah, got confused for a minute. Yeah, those who make the laws are the government. So yeah, they're obviously not happy about it. Not obviously, but you have to wonder why they are not happy about it. You know, do they own a part of the company? Are they going to make part of the profit? Are they going to, you know what I mean? Like you have to wonder, or like, are they really interested in getting that oil down south, wherever it's going? Like, so you just really have to kind of wonder about that. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back. Going back here, the next question was, whose side are you on and why? Is anyone comfortable sharing their answer with class?
Yes.
Okay, Kathy, please.
Yes. Actually, I think both sides have their own reason. I can say who is right, who is wrong, but for the country, it's a good point to reduce the risk of disaster. So they have their reason, but for the tribe is a bad thing to damage their water and their environment. So I think they need a good deal, a good solution for both sides. The government should pay more for the tribe and find a good place to give the tribe, maybe they can think to move in other place. So maybe they can accept they can accept their, so the government can build the pipeline. It's good for the
Mm.
country. Also,
Mhm.
they need find a place. It's good for the tribe. They
Interesting. Cool. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, you literally just answered that question about explaining both sides of the argument. So thanks for doing that. Yeah, I mean, it can be difficult to choose the best one when you can see both of the benefits, right, of each side. Thanks for sharing, Kathy. Anyone else want to share which side that they're on this, or if you feel comfortable sharing? Okay.
Me.
Go ahead, Jessica. Thank you.
I'm with Dakota. I stand on Dakota side. Mhm.
Wait,
Yeah, because
Dakota, the state, or is that what you mean? The state of Dakota with the government of Dakota?
I mean that I stand with the indigenous
Ah, the
protest.
tribe,
Uh-huh.
the
The tribe, yeah, because it's easy to say to that, oh, we are creating this project to avoid future disasters, nature disaster. I think that that's not a reliable reason, and they can change the design another route. Why you need to load the cost and then just don't care about in the future? Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So that's kind of like, I think a little bit like what Kathy said. Yeah. So if you go back and look at the map, it's coming from here, right? I mean, here, let me get my little light here. The oil is coming from here. It's actually coming from Canada, right? Is it in Canada or the US? Oh no, it's close. It's not in Canada. It's close to Canada. So here's the border of Canada. But it's going around like this, right? But then at some point it needs to cross over. But how funny it's going this way when, why doesn't it just go this way? It seems shorter, right? I mean, that is an interesting thing to say. Thanks for sharing, Jessica. So yeah, I wonder why. That's a good question. Maybe, oh, these are, oh, so look at the map though. So this map here, the little circles are pipeline spill incidents, right? So where you see the little circles, there have been problems already with other pipelines spilling. So it looks, right? If you just look at that, you would think, oh, wow. So then it must be common that this happens, right? The spills are actually quite common. We just don't really hear about it on the news or anything. So that's interesting. So this is back from 2016. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I think that's it then. Are there any other questions? We're done with this, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you the quiz out of class. So after class, you could take it, reading quiz. Any other questions on it? No? Okay. Yeah. Excellent. All right. So let me go ahead and share. I'm going to go back to our lesson 3 because we pretty much finished it, but I think we're having we're having lots of questions. So we have a couple more to cover. So let me go ahead and show you the last part of the handout. We were talking about the different types of deeds, if you remember. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so we're talking about the different types of deeds, and we got all the way down to sheriff's deed, and we just had a couple more to cover, actually just one, or I guess 2. So we have warranty deed and trust deed. So I'm gonna have a student just go ahead and read this part here where it says warranty deed. And let's go ahead and have Eugene, would you mind reading that one?
Sure.
Okay.
The warranty deed, this type of deed is seldom used in California. It makes the owner, grantor, legally responsible for the condition of the title. This is a lot of liability. Instead, the seller often use grant deeds and leave the responsibility to the title insurance.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So, so the responsibility of making sure that the property is clean and clear of anything lies on the owner, which again, you know, if it's like a new home and you had it for a short time is probably not a big deal. But if you buy like a home for resale, you know, it's a lot of responsibility on the owner who doesn't, that's not their specialty, right? Okay. And then let's go to the last one there, which is a trust deed. Let's see, let's go ahead and have, see, Andy, would you like to read the first paragraph there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trust deed. A trust deed, also known as a deed of trust, is a document sometimes used in real estate transactions in the U.S. It's a document that comes into play when one party has taken out a loan from another party to purchase a property. The trust deed represents an agreement between the borrower and a lender to have the property held in trust by
Neutral?
neutral and independent third party until the loan is paid off.
Okay, thank you. And let's see here. Let's have another student read the next part. How about, is Daniel back? Are you back, Daniel? Oops.
I'm here.
Okay, would you like to read the second part there?
Okay.
Right there, although.
Although trust deeds are less common than the rent roll, some two states still mandate the use of rent rather than a mortgage when financing is involved in the purchase of real estate. Trust deeds are commonly used in Alaska, Arizona, California, Colorado, Idaho, Illinois, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, North Carolina, Texas, Virginia, and Western Virginia. A few states such as Kentucky, Maryland, and South Dakota allow the use of both trust deeds and mortgage.
Okay, thank you so much. And then down here it says that a trust, I mean, we talked about this before,
No,
but just, oh yeah, you want to read it? Go ahead. Yeah.
a trust is a relationship where property is held by one party for the benefit of another party. A trust is created by owner, also called a settler, truster, or grantor, who transfers property to a trustee. The trustee holds that property for the trust's beneficial.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So I'm not like too familiar with how this works in real estate, but just in general, you know how we were talking last time about trusts, and that's like one way you can hold property, and a trust is its own entity, right? So it looks like it's common here in 20 states where if you're borrowing money from someone, the home itself is in a trust in the meantime, right? So it's got to be, you know, who owns this? Well, it's actually set up in a trust. You know, it's being held in a trust. So that's interesting. I mean, that makes sense, especially like for California, because here people like to sue a lot. right? So it does protect the home, right? So like, let's say that it wasn't in a trust until it was paid off, then it will be easy to sue the person that owns it. What if somebody sues a bank and then the bank is the title holder, and then you live in the house, you're trying to pay it off, and then your house is gone, right? So that wouldn't be good for you if you're trying to pay off the loan. So yeah, so that's again what a trust deed is. Are there any questions on the warranty or trust deeds? Okay. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here for Canvas. So that you can see where I'm getting the information from. All right, so that was, yeah, so that was polishing up basically the week 4 information. So because we reviewed the Dakota Access Pipeline protest, again, I'm going to make sure that that quiz is ready for you for today. So here it is, quiz, is it quiz 4? No, not that one. The reading quiz, yeah. So the no DAPL protest. So that one, I'm going to go ahead and move it over to week 6, which is now. I'm going to put it under the homework part. Okay, here it is. Okay, you see that on week 6? I won't publish it until our class is over though. So, oh, sorry, right here. Yeah. Okay, great. So now we're gonna have to look at the lesson 4 handout still from that time, because lesson 3 was a lot. We had the lesson and we also had an entire PowerPoint. So it was almost like 2 lessons in one. So the lesson 4 handout, you can go ahead and open that one up if you'd like. I'll go ahead and open that on my Adobe Acrobat here. So let's see here, lessons, lesson handouts, unit 4. And I'll share my screen there for you guys. Hi, Alariza. Okay, so here it is. So we're gonna look at lesson 4 now. And then we can review the reading from last time in class on Wednesday. And here we go. So lesson 4 is going to talk about estates and methods of holding title. So it's a lot of information that we've already covered in some way or another. So this is just going to add to that. So let me just go ahead and have you guys read this part so you can practice your speaking and pronunciation. If you have a question on pronunciation while you read, please go ahead and ask me. I will try to stop you and correct you if I notice that you need some help there. So let's go ahead and have, let's see, who hasn't read yet? How about Wei Ding? Are you available to read? Can you read the estates part there? Okay, maybe not. I think I saw her at work, so maybe she's not available. Let's go ahead and ask Esther. Esther, would you be able to read that there?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Estate. An estate includes a present or future right to ownership and all possession of real property. It is referred to as a real estate interest as well. There are 2 categories. How to pronounce it?
Categories.
Categories of
Yes.
real property estates: freeholder and less than freeholder leaseholder. Leaseholder estates will be covered later in week 8.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Yeah, so the main thing is the estates are part of, real property, and there's 2 basic kinds, right? So let's take a look at the 2 basic kinds. And okay, so let's look at the first one at the top here. So this one here is called freehold. I want you to notice these dotted lines and how they go around the house, but they also go up into the air a little bit, right? So with the freehold estate, the meaning is that you own the property, right? The house. You own the land that it sits on, and you also own the space above it. So there's like a certain limit as to how much space above you own, right? So like where the airplanes are flying, obviously you don't own that part, right? But there will be a certain part that you do own. So, you know, like drones, they can't just be flying around your air because you own that air. It's private property. So the next part here we have is maintaining the building is going to be up to you, right? Because this is your property. Also, this is one of the most common form of ownership for homes, the freehold kind, especially in the US, we have so much land, right? So it's a common form of ownership here. You don't have to rent the land when you own this kind of home or property. And you don't have to pay for service or anything like that. Again, like some places have HOA, but even with HOA, you still, HOA, sometimes they will maintain some part of the area where you live, but not necessarily where your home is. That you have to do it. You have to maintain it. Finally, it says there's usually lower costs, you know, due to, yeah, that's it. Just there's usually lower cost involved with this kind of ownership. So the next one, again, that's called the freehold estate. The next kind of estate is called the leasehold estate. And as you can tell, look at the little, you know, follow the little yellow dotted line around this man. He looks like he's inside of a building, right? And also it almost kind of looks like he's in an apartment, right? So this one, the leasehold estate, you own the property. However, there is somebody you have a landlord who owns the land, right, down here, and the actual building, if that makes sense. So I know like in California, I mean, I think we're starting to see it a little bit more, but usually like in New York City, where there isn't that much space, people just purchase apartments, right? So they don't own like the land, and they do usually have to pay some kind of rent for it. So again, it says here common form of ownership for apartments. Yes, like in the New York City example. Now, maintaining the building is going to be the responsibility of the landlord, right? You just maintain your apartment, but you don't have to maintain anything else. Like doesn't belong to you to do that. You are going to pay some rent, is what I mentioned, maybe some service fees and maintenance fees. And finally, the lease that you have on there is for a period of time. It's not like you buy the apartment and you're good for the rest of your life. You have a lease there for a certain amount of time. Of course, you're going to have all of that written in the contract that you sign. Are there any questions between the freehold estate and the leasehold estate? Okay, is this similar to kind of property ownership in your country where you come from? Are there like these two basic types? I feel like it would depend, you know, on the room. Like, you know, in your country, is it highly populated? You know, like I know Hong Kong is going to be leasehold, right? Because everything goes up or down. There's not a lot of land, right? So this is interesting. Okay, if there are.
Oh, excuse me, Professor.
Yes, Kathy.
The type of leaseholding, they need to pay the like rental for the land for landlord, right?
Yeah.
It usually has a period of time.
It does, yeah.
So the landlord, if the landlord wants to change the building, that the landlord has the rights.
You mean like if he wants to sell it or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Oh.
Yeah, they could change ownership, sure.
Okay.
I think in China, private people don't have freehold because land belongs to government.
So that's an interesting, yeah, thanks for sharing that, Andy. So that's like a different way, right? Real estate works differently. So the land belongs to government there. So you don't even have freehold. So it'd be more like a leasehold, yes?
Yeah, because even you buy a house connected to the earth still belongs to government.
There you go. So even if it looks like the number one example, you still
Yeah.
have to lease the land. You don't get to own it, right?
I suppose.
Gotcha, gotcha. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, is there anyone in the class from Mexico? I don't think I see anyone because I feel like in Mexico it's similar. I'm not sure though. I think you might have to lease. I think you can buy property, but you don't own the land there either, but I'm not sure. Does anyone know?
Professor, I have a question for the leaseholder. Such as the mobile home
Mm.
is belong to the leaseholder, right? Not the
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that's the interesting thing about the mobile home is that it's actually considered because a mobile home is mobile and it's not connected to the ground. Mobile homes are actually considered personal property.
Oh,
Interesting, huh? So when you, yeah, so it's different than your real property. It's considered personal. So that's a interesting thing because then you think about like loans, you know, to buy a mortgage. It doesn't really apply to the mobile homes, but I think think now they are increasing in popularity just because it's so expensive to own real estate. Even the mobile homes are expensive now. They're starting to really increase in price. So I think they're changing and they're trying to start maybe having some finance options for people, but yeah, that's a different story. Yeah, it's considered personal property. Yes, you would have to lease the land to place your personal property on. Yeah.
okay, thank you.
You're
How
so
about-
welcome.
How about the condo townhouse? Is a leasehold or freehold?
Anybody want to answer that question that Kathy asked? What do you guys think for the condo or townhomes? Anybody know?
Condo, I think condo is like a townhouse
It's a freehold.
Freehold.
in America, but in China is a leasehold.
Yes, still a
Mm.
leasehold in China.
Yeah, because like honestly, is a condo, does it look like a townhouse or aren't condos more like apartments? Are they more like apartments or? It's a good question. Does anyone own a condo in the class or live in a condo? So the townhome is basically like a regular home. It just shares usually one or a wall with another home, right? Yeah. So I think that's the limitation is just obviously the other home. But I think you own everything else just the same, like a freehold. Yeah, so everything is up to you to maintain. The condo though, it is a little different than the building or than an apartment because you do own the condo. But I
live in
yeah.
a condo.
Okay.
I heard they said the land is not belong your house under belong you. It's there has a equal area for you, not the and you didn't have a right to change the house outside.
Yeah.
So they're limited some rights.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, for the condo definitely makes sense. Even like some homes with HOA is like that too. Let me go ahead and go to Google. We could ask Google. Sorry, babe, were you gonna say something else?
Yeah, so the condo need to pay the rent or landlord?
That's a good question. Do you pay rent on the land? So it says most apartments and condominiums are sold as leaseholds. As are townhouses, actually, it says here, in which a developer maintains ownership of surrounding land and a homeowners association has the obligation to maintain it. This is a reliable, pretty reliable website. I like it, sfgate.com. I'm going to go ahead and put this link to this very short article here on our Canvas. So if you are interested in reading a little bit more of it, you can. Here, let me see. I think I might even have it in there already. Let me see. Do I have it in there? So we're on week. Okay, week 4. Well, not week 4, but this is lesson 4, right? Yeah, lesson 4. I do have some resources in here. I want to make sure, do I have that one? I don't. Push that one. Okay, let me look if it's here on lesson 5. So I don't, okay. So I'll add that link into week 6 because some of you may be interested in reading about it, okay? About the leasehold and freehold. But it looks, again, it looks like, gosh, where did it say that? It looks like the answer that they put here is that the townhouse is considered most of them. See, it doesn't say all of them. Most of them are considered as leaseholds.
Okay.
Oh, no problem, Alariza. Thank you for coming to class. Appreciate it. Yes. Oh, I got, yeah.
Yes, I had the second dose of the vaccination today
Today? Okay.
at 10:30.
Uh-huh.
And I backed home at 12:15, and unfortunately I had problem to access the internet.
No worries. No problem.
Yes, and after the second time, actually I succeeded. I succeeded to join the class.
Yes, that's great. You can always watch the video after as well, but at the beginning, the students were just discussing the article. So we just started on the lesson not too long ago. Which vaccine did you get? What brand?
Pfizer.
Pfizer, okay.
Yes.
Same
But
one I got too.
I think today I'm going to have a headache or fever or body ache, but I'm waiting.
Maybe. You're waiting? Oh no. Yeah, so
What's happening after?
Yeah, who knows? I got my vaccine, my second one last Wednesday, and I got sick. So I was pretty sick on Thursday.
Oh my God.
I was sick the whole day. So
And it was Pfizer too?
it was Pfizer, yeah. But it depends because my aunt got it. She didn't have any symptoms. 0.
Oh,
Just
okay.
her arm hurt. But me, I actually got sick. So yeah, it felt like the flu for one day. And then it was fine. So
but for younger people, there's no problem for younger people, but for me, it would be affected.
well, you tell us Wednesday how you feel. Eugene has a comment. He said, please share your materials which is related to the class as much as possible. Yeah. Yeah, of course. You mean like the additional supplemental readings, Eugene? Is that what you mean?
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So it's very helpful for our understanding.
Good.
Because the vocabulary in this class is unfamiliar. Is some first word like that. So your material, that is the referential material, is good for my understanding.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I have a lot of information. I don't want to overwhelm you either, but if you like, if there's like something like this here, we found the SF Gate. That's a really good one. So for real estate, what we're discovering, I have a lot of articles from this website. It's homeguides.sfgate.com. So if you ever find an article when you're researching from them, they're pretty reliable. So they're pretty good. So thanks, Eugene, for saying that. I appreciate it. Our class is over. So what we're going to do is we'll finish the conversation about the estates on Wednesday. So we'll do that first, and then I mean, it's pretty short actually, this lesson. So we'll do that first. There's also lesson 5. Let me share my screen on Canvas so you can see what I mean. Okay, sorry. So estates and methods of holding title. So it's going to be an interesting conversation on Wednesday. So please make sure, yeah, just make sure you come so you could be a part of it. So let me share the screen here. Here we are. Okay. So yeah, so if you haven't already, the lesson 5 handout was for last week, but we only met one day. And if we have time on Wednesday, we're going to finish discussing lesson 4. about estates and titles. And then if we have time, we'll discuss the article here. Okay, so that's going to be the plan. And yeah, and that's going to be at lesson 5. We probably won't get to until Monday, to be honest. I can still publish lesson 6 here if you want me to. Do you want me to do that on week 6? Are you interested?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll still add week 6. I mean, I'll add lesson 6 here anyway. We're not going to get to it this week, but I'll add it. And then I'll go ahead and add your vocabulary for lesson 5, which I didn't add last week because we had a holiday. So I'll add that today. It's due Sunday before midnight. All right.
Okay.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for a great class. And I hope you have a nice rest of your Monday. And I will see you in 2 days on Wednesday. And so I'll be sending some grades. I'm sure you saw I added your attendance scores already. So I'll be doing some grading today. So if you have any questions, please send me a message in the inbox, and hope you have a great day.
Thank
Professor, excuse me, I
You're
have a
welcome.
question.
Okay.
I'll stay here for questions if you have any. If not, I'll
Yeah.
see ya. Take care.
Professor,
Okay.
I
Esther?
have a question. Yeah.
Yep.
I want to know how to find out the average days for sale a house at a zip code. Which website I can find this information?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Like what the average days for a home to sell?
Yeah. If I want to buy house in a zip code, so I need to find the average days.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know what website can provide this information from the Zillow and the real estate. And
I have a question. Why are you interested in finding the average days of the sale? Is it because
yes, the similar question is how to find out the average selling pricing, preparing to the average asking price at a zip code. I can comparing the price.
Okay, well, remember when we were looking at, you can find on Zillow, there's Zillow, Trulia, and Redfin. Those are all.
Yeah, from the Zillow, you only can find the older price.
Right, the sold price.
Yeah.
The sold price, right? Yeah.
If you can give me some information after class, I appreciate for you. Yeah, I send the chart for the question. Maybe it's clearly.
Well, I understand the question. I'm just trying to understand, like, you want to find the average sale price?
Yeah, average days or the average price.
Okay. May I ask, why are you looking for the information?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why, Esther? Why do you need the information? That information?
Because I want to sell a house. Yeah, I need to put a price, but I'm not sure the price is higher or lower. Yes.
Okay.
If I want to sell for within 1 month. So the price,
I see.
I need to make
Okay.
comfortable price.
Got it. I understand. Yeah. Okay. And you're not going to use a real estate agent? You're just going to sell your own home on your own?
Yeah. So
Got it. Okay.